who are the best Robins of all time? What does that mean if you just turn to our show and don't understand what that term means? It means on a great team, you were the second best player or the second most noteworthy player. So the greatest Robin of all time is actually Kobe Bryant. During the Shaq-Kobe rivalry, Shaq was the greater player, and if it wasn't for free throws, he would have gotten all the shots late. It was Shaq's team. Now, Kobe's a 5-time NBA champ, a 2-time Finals MVP, one of the 10 best players I've seen. But in that dynasty, Kobe was viewed as the 2. He was very, very young. That's the best Robin ever. The second best is Jerry Rice, viewed as the best wide receiver ever. He has the most receiving yards in NFL history and the most touchdown receptions in NFL history, but it was Montana's dynasty. Nobody disputes that. Montana was the MVP in Super Bowls. Jerry Rice was the second greatest Robin of all time. The third is Mark Messier. Yes, I know hockey. When he was in Edmonton, that was one of the great hockey teams of all time, the dynasty in Edmonton. Gretzky, the great one, was number 1. Messier was one of the top 5 players in the sport, maybe top 3. He was the 2. 6-time Stanley Cup champ, 5 with the Oilers. He goes then and becomes the Batman with the Rangers and leads them to a Stanley Cup final. One of the great tough guys ever. Could skate, tough, could score. Mark Messier, third best Robin ever. 4, and this is weird, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Yes, the leading scorer in league history was a Robin on the Showtime Lakers. When you watch the highlights of the Showtime Lakers, it's almost all magic. It's often other Lakers beyond Kareem. Kareem is a 6-time MVP, most ever in NBA history, one of the great defenders, the most unstoppable shot. But on the Showtime Lakers, it was really Magic's team. The 5th best Robin of all time is, I know it's weird, Bill Belichick. We can now say it was 60-40 minimum Brady over Belichick. So Bill struggled to win in Cleveland without Brady. He could not win early in New England without Brady. And he could not win last year without Brady. Tom wins New England. Tom leaves, wins Super Bowl in Tampa. Belichick is the 5th greatest Robin of all time. Number 6, the beloved Dwayne Wade. On the Heatles, he was a Robin. 13-time All-Star, top 20, 25 player of all time, was never a great shooter. He was always kind of the soul of a team, but he wasn't as dominating when Shaq came and they won, not as dominating physically as LeBron when they won. He's the 6th best Robin of all time. Now, sometimes he was asked to, like Kareem, to be a Batman, but in the greatest moments for the Heat, he's been a Robin. Number 7, I know I'm going way back, Lou Gehrig. He actually won 2 MVPs, one of them playing with Babe Ruth. He was a 6-time World Series champ. He was the Yankee captain for about 6-7 years. On those teams with Ruth, there were moments he was actually the better player. Number 8 would be John Stockton, right? Karl Malone ends up top 5 scorer of all time. John made 10 NBA All-Star teams. It's interesting, we never talk about him in the Robin conversation. He's one of the top 5 point guards ever, probably behind Magic, Steph, Isaiah Thomas. Then you get into the John Stockton conversation. Rock solid, only played with Karl Malone as a star. Number 9, I think you'd have to say Gronk. Arguably the greatest tight end of all time. 5-time Pro Bowler, all with Brady. The Brady to Gronk is the most prolific touchdown duo in NFL history with 14. Nobody's ever had more touchdowns in the NFL. That the quarterback to receiver thing, that's number 1. 14, Gronk. And then number 10, I think you put in Scottie Pippen. Because we started using the term with him. He's also a 6-time champ. He's also a 7-time All-Star. I would argue he was a much better defensive player than he actually was a skilled offensive player. But he was a great Robin, and he always understood it was Michael's team. Michael got the last shot. For the record, Tony Kukoc isn't the only guy to get the last shot. Often, when he was on the floor, Kerr got the last shot. Paxson got the last shot. Sometimes Kukoc got the shot. But Scottie qualifies, to me, is the 10th best Robin of all time. And I don't think it's a shot. Now, some people aren't Robins their entire career. Mark Messier became the guy in New York. But if you're telling me for an extended period of time, I mean, Kobe was a Robin for like 4 years. He was, in fact, I would say Del Harris before Phil Jackson, Kobe was the Robin for like 5 to 6 years. And then Shaq leaves. Then they get Gasol, and then the rest of his career, he's the guy. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.